In this lesson, we'll draw out and extrude the scoops on the bottom portion of our side panels. All right, so if we take a look here, it's a little bit hard to see maybe in this image, but try to look at what this scoop is doing here. And so basically this is, it's curved up here and kind of squared off in the back. And what it's doing is basically, you've got a tapered extrusion, much like the scoop, going from the back to the front. So it's deeper on the front. And then you've got a portion of that up above that's tapered in the opposite direction. So this is tapered from back to front. It's going in, and then a portion of that to the back is going in the other way. So then this is recessed here. So you get this neat little extrusion here. It's a little complex, but it'll look really cool when we get done. So let's go about the work of redrawing these edges. And this is going to start to get a little bit tricky because we're going to have to start adding edges along this length. And what that's going to do, if you take a look here, you can see that these edges end up on our wheel arch. And the more edges we add, it's going to just continue to square off these points, and that's not what we want. So continually, you're going to have to keep watching this right here and on this part, and you're going to have to continually keep moving those points back to keep that circular shape. And you'll see what I mean in just a second. All right, so first let's go ahead and grab some points and try to start matching these up just in a sort of general way, because we don't have a lot of resolution there right now. So just get them kind of in the right spot. And now what we need to do is add some resolution. All right, so we're going to add an edge right here. We're going to do that using our insert edge loop. Add it right along there. Now you can see right here that that's added an edge loop right here on the square. So if we smooth this out, subbeat it, it's going to be kind of squared off right here. So what we need to do is, whenever we add an edge, we need to go in here, spread these points out, and continually try to keep that circular shape. And we have that image plane here to help us do that. So over here, it's the same deal. I'm going to just spread that out a little bit. There we go. And it looks like, well, we could see, but try to figure out how many edges we need to create this kind of curve shape. We'll tackle that in a second. One thing I know is that we do want part of this to stay out and not extrude. Okay, so we're going to actually add an edge loop all the way down here. And let's just grab these points and we'll just pull those in a little bit. Just slightly. Here we go. And let's see here. Looks like that edge is squared off. Okay, so let's see. We might need one more edge right along here. So I'm going to go ahead and add that in just right here to maybe tighten that curve up just a little bit. And I'm going to grab these faces, all the faces included here, in our. Now if you can see right here the portion that's going to be extruded back. So before we extrude that, let's go ahead and add that extra edge in there. You could do it afterwards, but we'll go ahead and do it right now. And again, we'll just tweak that little edge right there, a little vert. Okay, now what we want to do is grab all these faces right here, all the way back. All the way back to the end of our scoop there. And if we go in our perspective view, there we go. You can see what we've got selected here. So now we want to do basically sort of the opposite of what we did here. So we want to extrude in and then we want to rotate it so that this is a little more recessed. If that makes sense. So we go ahead and extrude. We go into world mode here. I'm going to just move it in slightly. This one we don't want to be so deep. I'm going to rotate that back. Okay. Let's check out, see where these points are ending up. That's actually pretty close. If you get that error message when you go to try to move something, it could be you could still have your move by normals on. So you need to check that. All right, so we've got that extrusion taken care of. But now we need to do another extrusion. So before we do that, I would like to go ahead and close these up. They're pretty close, so I'm just going to go ahead and merge those together. Oops. And merge those. Okay. So we've got that first portion extruded in. Now we need to worry about the second part, and that's the extrusion going the opposite way. And we need to select the appropriate faces. So we're basically selecting everything except that bottom row there. Okay. Actually, let's take a look at this. I don't think it starts all the way at the front. I think it starts right up here. You can see where this edge starts. That's where we're going to start our extrusion. So let's take a look at that. In our side view, you can check that. It starts maybe right about here or so. We'll start maybe up one more. Okay. And this we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to reverse our process here. I'm going to just extrude that. Extrude it in a bit. And this time I'm going to rotate it the other way. Like so. Alright. And I'm going to grab these points. These are a little far off, so I'm going to go ahead and snap those in so my other points don't move. And let's merge those together. Merge those together. Merge, merge. All right, and the back part of this scoop actually extends in even more, so I'm just going to grab these two faces. I'll push them in a little bit, and I'll actually even extrude them in, I think. I'm going to do that. Extrude those in, and maybe send them back a little bit. And just smooth that out, just like that. Alright, so if we turn off our wireframe, we can see what we've done here. We've extruded this in, and then we've extruded that to make a more complex scoop here on the side of our car. Okay, so we've got that done. So in the next lesson, we're going to come in and start adding edges along here so that we can sub-D this. Right now, if we sub-D'd it, it'd be just a big blob. So what we need to do is add some edges to hold these shapes, any of these sharp corners, and we'll come in and do that right in the next lesson.